Now things look a little bit different here today. My home, my life, my work, everything's in a little bit of a state of flux and amazing change. So I'm being challenged to stay flexible and grateful. So I'm going to throw my perfectionist tendencies out the door and we're going to shake it up a little bit and go on location to various corners of my home for this month's Teachable Moments. Today I want to speak about what kind of beliefs your child is intuiting from your relationship and your interactions. Is your child getting the message that life and the world is basically good and supportive? Or is your child downloading the belief that life is something to be feared or viewed as threatening? The way you speak has a huge influence, and you can tell a lot about which belief is having a bigger influence on your child by the way that your child responds to change. Whenever I am faced with obstacles, challenges, or changes, I try to detach from the fear and welcome the shifts. But it's not always that easy, and it's just a choice that you have to choose to make. Earlier in life, I did not take so kindly to change. I remember even telling a friend of mine after college, if I ever had kids, I would let them know up front that life is hard, because they should just know that going in. Life is hard. That foundational belief that I carried with me at 23 was part of the core framework that also told me change sucks, and it's to be feared. Change meant unknowable outcomes, uncertainty, new and unfamiliar entities, and it was with a soul-crushing fear that I welcomed, or shall we say, slammed the door on change. So I continued a pattern of defensive, hyper-vigilant behaviors, overly concerned with how others were feeling, how I was being perceived, and critical to a fault. Now, several years later, my views on life have softened. Is life hard? Sure. Sometimes it can be stressful, chaotic, and even downright uncomfortable. But ultimately, I believe that the world is supporting me, whereas I used to believe that I had to defend myself against this frightening place. And this is why I do this work. Because how you respond to your kids and how they see you respond to life sets up a pattern of behavior that can last a lifetime. We are born highly reactive and purposefully curious about life. But the traditional thinking on discipline has you responding to these developmentally typical phases as threats. Threats which are shut down with the same survival skills that you blame for causing the conflict in the first place. We say things like, that was a silly thing to do, or what did you think was going to happen? When I count to 3, you better. I've asked you over and over not to do that. I said don't touch it. What's the matter with you? You're never going to make it with that attitude. How can I trust you after this? I will not tolerate this behavior. How dare you disobey me? You better listen or you're going into timeout. Failing to use our own adaptive skills and instead choosing unconsciously out of habit to rely on stern, uncompromising, or inflexible discipline that's delivered with sarcasm, criticism, judgment, blame, shame, fear, and in the spirit of control rather than connection, essentially has the opposite effect on your child's ability to regulate his emotions and respond to life. Instead of building positive coping skills and teaching kids that the world is safe and supportive, we stimulate the lower centers of the brain, strengthening their reliance on their fear-based survival mechanisms. We teach kids that living life is a risky proposition, something threatening and to be feared, unsupportive unless you behave in a manner that makes other people feel good. How unstable of a goal is that? So here are some phrases that will set firm limits, promote the development of critical and reflective thinking skills without compromising your relationship. This is going to set your kids up with the belief that the world is safe and supportive. You can try something like, I don't think you were expecting that outcome. Tell me more about what your plan was. You're having trouble stopping. I'm here to help. Let's try again. I have faith that you can do it, and I will help you if you have trouble. It looks like you got stuck. I recognize that we're both feeling agitated. I want us to speak respectfully. I'm feeling confused and angry about how this conversation is going. So how about we come back to this later? No, I'm feeling upset that our agreement was not honored. I'm wondering what happened. I'm not going to let you hurt anyone, but here's another way that you can get those feelings out. If you want to grow the thinking part of the brain, you have to exercise it. Trying to raise a child by chronically activating the fear center is like demanding your child ride a bike when you've taken off the wheels. So let's practice sending our children the message that affirms a full and abundant life where they are capable of handling whatever comes their way. Okay, that was my teachable moment for you, and now I would love to hear from you. What message about the world and life did you receive growing up? Did you come away from childhood with the belief that you had to fight for everything that you wanted or defend against the world? Or did you get the belief that the world was safe and supportive and to be enjoyed and that you were capable? How has this affected your relationship with others? How do you show your kids that you respond to life? I'd love to hear your story, so leave me a comment below. And you never know, just by sharing your thoughts and ideas, you might just inspire someone else towards making the changes that they were looking for. Now, did you like this video? Because if so, I would be so honored to have you share it with someone that you love or on your favorite social media site, because when you share the love spreads. And if you want more tips and tools like this, get on over to teachthroughlove.com, get on my email list, or you can subscribe right here to YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, please remember, it's about consciousness, not perfection.